you. It's so good to be here. And I need to tell you right quick that I am a storyteller. I was 39 years a librarian, and I told stories all the time. But they were always, literary, folk tales, fairy tales, African folk tales. But this is my first time in this style of telling stories, so it's kind of different. I'm from Gary, Indiana. How about that? That's a steel town right next to Chicago. And I don't feel like a Hoosier, I felt more like a Chicagoan. It's just, 15 minutes of the line. But anyway, this is my story, and it's called Sister Wonderful. I had a wonderful auntie, Aunt Inez, and people called her Sister Wonderful. Well, you see, when she would come to church, she would be so glad to come into the doors. You didn't have to turn around and see her coming in. You would hear her say, "Wonderful." She's in the sanctuary. She was a wonderful person. Now, she didn't have any children, and she loved her favorite brother. So we were her children too. And I tell you what, she just did. You're talking about caring. She's the type of auntie. We made Christmas cookies together, and she would take me to the nursing home. She's a prayer warrior. She'd go into the nursing home, and everybody would ask her to come in the room and pray. So that was kind of long, but it was interesting. And then she's the kind of auntie you could go to the home house. I don't know if y'all know what a home house is, but she lived at the home house, and you could jump on her furniture, and you could jump on her bed, and she didn't care. So we could jump and just tear her room up, and then we could go to the dresser, and this is telling me, I'm a baby boomer. You could go to a dresser and sample her purple jar of perfume Evening in Paris that was next to the Mum deodorant. Is anybody connected with me? Are y'all too young? Anyway, she was wonderful. So I'll tell you a few instances. One time, I was going to, I used to suck my thumb. And they tried everything. They would tape it. I was 7 years old, still sucking my thumb. They would put tape on it. Then they would put hot sauce on the tape. Then they put mercure cone, said you're going to die if you suck your thumb. And finally my Aunt Inez said, I'll give you $5 if you stop. Well, $5 in 1957 was a fortune. Guess what? I stopped. And she went into her handkerchief. She kept her money tied up in a handkerchief. And she took that money out, gave it to me, and said, "Wonderful." She was just that kind of person. And so, another time, my 6th grade class was going to Washington, D.C. And boy, we were so excited. We were going to ride the B&O train. That was to Baltimore and Ohio to D.C. and stay in a hotel 2 nights and go to the Washington Monument and the Capitol Building and the White House. And I'm telling my age, but at the time, John F. Kennedy was in the White House. We were just so excited. And but I showed the program, the itinerary to my dad, and he saw the price, and he said, $53! Y'all, in 61, that was a fortune. But my daddy, my mom, my grandmother, and Aunt Inez pulled their little monies together. And on my way out to, on the day of the trip, Inez took out that handkerchief again and slid $10, said, "This is for your spending change." That's the kind of auntie she was. And not just doing it, just caring and loving and encouraging. A woman of God, always pushing me forward, all through high school, college, and everything. Just a wonderful person. And then, one time I got kind of discouraged because some of you all, this is a new day, but when you turned 30 years ago, you were starting to become an old man. And everybody started turning on you and, wondering what was wrong. And so I was getting discouraged. I was over 30 and not married, and my love life was a pits, and most of the time I was a dateless wonder. I was great. I was a musician at church. I was great on my job as a librarian, but not too good on a romantic life. I got discouraged, and I talked to her. And I said, "I'm just sick of it. There's nobody out here. There's nobody. Everybody's just good for nothing. There's nobody out here." And she said, "Are you good?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you think you're somebody?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you think you're going to amount to something?" "I have amounted to something. I am somebody." "Well, there's somebody else, a man out there that feels the same way about himself. You just hold on. Be encouraged now, hon. Be encouraged. It's going to happen." Well, it happened. About 6 years after that, I was 36. And I ran and told her that I was engaged. And she went and brought out a beautiful wedding ring quilt. She said, I've been working on this for years. She didn't own a sewing machine. Every stitch, every embroidery was done by hand. And that quilt is still hanging on my wall. It's too beautiful, and the memories are too strong for me to use it. So it's hanging in my bedroom. That's the kind of wonderful person she is. I tell you what, as the days went on, we had a beautiful wedding, all the excitement. But 9/11, my Aunt Inez passed on that same weekend. And I was down here in Macon, Georgia, and she's up in Indiana, and I couldn't go to the funeral because they stopped all the airplanes flying and everything. But it didn't bother me because you know where she is? She's right here with me. It didn't bother me. She's right here with me. And I'm going to tell you one more incident. It's kind of funny. I had a big fight with my husband. Oh, we had a big falling out. And he made me so mad. I was so mad at him, you know how y'all ladies, you know how you feel. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. Wonder why we ended up together, that kind of thing. And so I was looking in the drawer for something, and I saw a letter. She used to write me wonderful letters. And it was a letter and she had been passed maybe 10 years. But it was a letter from her. I said, I need to read this. And it was telling me, encouraging me, and telling me to be strong and all these wonderful things. And the tears began to roll, just knowing that, I'm reading a beautiful letter from my Aunt Inez, who's been gone to glory over 10 years ago. And I'm reading and rejoicing, and then P.S. at the end, she said, be kind to your husband. He's a good man. And I just fell apart. And that's the kind of, he, even after death, she's still blessing me. And I keep those letters, and sometimes I look at them, and it thrills my heart. And she taught me how to care, how to love, how to forgive. And to that I say, wonderful. Yeah.